Welcome, my name is Natasha, and today we will be discussing cross-curricular connections to literature. Let's first start out with what is cross-curricular. Some may know that it is also referred to as thematic teaching, but it is a method that integrates the use of multiple content areas into a lesson. Examples of this for literature would be pollination. It integrates both English language arts and science. Henry's Freedom Box, a true story from the Underground Railroad. This story integrates English language arts and social studies. Circumference in the First Round Table. This story integrates English language arts and math. Next, let's discuss the importance and benefits of cross-curricular in literature. Importance and benefits is that it allows teachers to use their time effectively to teach multiple subjects. Allows students to make connections with the content they are learning to that of the real world. And is also used over other content areas to allow students to become more language efficient in terms of reading, writing, and speaking. The value of this is that more student interests are utilized, which keeping students engaged. Students are also developing greater problem-solving skills and reflecting on more concepts. The alignment of literature to the content standards is that it allows students to develop reading skills such as fluency, compare and contrast, and identifying the main ideas within a literary text. Students are still pulling information from the text while forming conclusions, whether it be science, social studies, or math. It's still in the form of literature to allow students to make greater connections. Cross-curricular content supports diverse learners by meeting the needs of students and allowing them to utilize language effectively while they are learning to listen, speak, and read. Cross-curricular supports collaboration, motivation, and engagement through multiple disciplines while including different interests and perspectives. An example of this would be ELL students and special needs. They're learning multiplication facts through the use of times tell stories to make a better connection on how to remember their multiplication facts. Here's an example of that. Mrs. Week is the number 7. The 6th grade class represents the number 6. So the story goes, Mrs. Week's 6th grade class has 4 girls and 2 boys. The students draw the connection that Mrs. Week equals 7, 6th grade class equals 6, and the students equal 4 girls and 2 boys. Therefore, the problem they have is 7 times 6 equals 42. This allows them to connect the math with the literature. When planning, here are some challenges and benefits for grades K through 3 and 4 through 8. K through 3 can be challenging because it usually consists of one teacher teaching one classroom multiple subjects. Some teachers may teach English and math more than science and social studies. However, the benefit would be introducing students to multiple content areas to increase their knowledge of multiple subjects. For grades 4 through 8, it can be challenging as most schools are departmentalized to where students are taught different subjects by different teachers. And sometimes there could be one teacher teaching one content and then go to another block, so there's multiple teachers. Grades K through 3, an example lesson plan. An example of cross-curricular lesson planning is this. The grade I've chosen is grade 3. The lesson title is A Climate Around the World, and the content standards are ELA.3.3 and S.3.GS.14. For this, students are using a literary text to answer questions and demonstrate comprehension while collecting and associating information to describe weathers in different areas of the world. And the book I've chosen for this is Weather Around the World, which integrates both science and English language arts. Students make a better connection of real-life problems around the world through this lesson. The example for 4 through 8 cross-curricular lesson plan is as follows. Grade 6, the lesson title is U.S. Government Requirements. The West Virginia content standards are ELA.6.10 and SS.3.6.3. For this, students will determine the meaning of words or phrases as they are used in informational writing, including symbolic, connotative, and practical meanings. They'll also identify the construction of the U.S. States Congress and the constitutional requirements of congressional membership. The book I've chosen for this is Exploring Government. Students will be reading about the U.S. government and what specific requirements are needed to become a member within each branch of government, drawing together the literature and the social studies. If you need help on planning cross-curricular, here are some steps. Step 1, teacher collaboration. It's important to discuss with your teachers and collaborate on how you can help support and meet the needs of your students while using cross-curricular. Step 2, identify content standards. Be sure to identify your state's content standards that you will use for each lesson. Step 3, stay organized. It is important to keep your plan organized and ready to go. It allows the information to flow and promotes critical thinking skills. Step 4, stay up to date. Students change and so do their interests, so allow room for expansion. Staying up to date with the most recent information can allow for students to draw better connections to the real world. Step 5, trial and error. Remember, not every lesson plan has to be cross-curricular. So try one and see how it goes if you'd like. If it doesn't work out, then you know how to modify it. And always ask for feedback from another educator to help with the completion of your lesson plan.